Hi, happy Sunday, everyone. Giving it a few minutes. I hope everyone had a wonderful day. I am pooped. Hey, Holly. Good to see you. How's your Sunday going? Hi, Christina. Good to see you, ladies. What's happening? Hi, Jake. Hey, you guys. Hello. I have definitely been slacking. And yesterday, I completely forgot about this feed, which is, hi, Christina. Hi, Candace. I was so caught up in working out or working in my garden that I completely forgot about this feed, and I'm really sorry I didn't come on. Hey, shh. Hazel, stop. Shh. Oh, Holly, I'm really glad you took a U day today. That's really important. What did you do for you today? I hope something that helped fill your tank. I've been spending a lot of time gardening. I don't even know if it's gardening. I guess it's gardening. If you guys planting, now you're sore. That's great. I did a lot of that too. I'm working on a vegetable garden. Actually did a lot of replanting things for my backyard, which I had a ton of stuff growing, but I didn't know because this is my very first attempt at gardening or doing anything outdoors really. So it's been a lot of fun. Did a lot of landscaping. We moved some stuff from the backyard to the front, took some bushes out. Hi, Linda. Hi, Carrie. Congratulations, my wonderful friend. Super exciting. I'm going to leave it at that. Holly read meditation and a whole lot of nothing else. Good for you. Good for you. That sounds like a wonderful day. And Carrie, I just remembered it did hit Facebook, so I can congratulate you on your engagement. That's super exciting. As I was saying it, I'm like, oh my God, did it hit Facebook? I can't disclose the rest. And then I'm like, oh yeah, it did. Hi, Danny. Hi, my beautiful friends. I'm super excited for you, Carrie. Sounds like it was a beautiful weekend for you. All that a girl could ask for. And your ring is absolutely stunning. Reed sent me the picture, and I absolutely adore it. Absolutely adore it. Cheryl, hello. Slacking with work, can't get motivated. Any suggestions? Greatly appreciated. Yeah, absolutely. I've definitely had periods where I felt really unmotivated, and I still do. I'm wondering if you're feeling unmotivated just with work or with everything. I know for me, that's actually really interesting that you said that. I might change up my readings today. Yeah, I think I will. Yes, Carrie, we will talk soon. So I had one reading in mind, and when you said that, Cheryl, about feeling unmotivated, the other reading from today really stood out quite a bit. Hi, Joe. Hi, Patrick. Again, to those, I really apologize. I've been slacking with these feeds quite a bit. I actually didn't even remember about it yesterday, which is interesting because I've been doing it for a couple months now, every day. And I totally lost track of time. It was a lot of me stuff that just, filled up my day. Hi, Nikki. So Cheryl brought up a really great point about slacking with work, struggling to get motivated. And I know that's probably something all of us had experienced. And chime in, let me know if you have, and maybe share some thoughts on what's worked for you. Actually, today's reading, as I was reading it, and it's something that I've been doing quite a bit, May 17th. It talks about acting as if, which I've used quite a bit in my recovery, and lately also with motivation. Hi, Athene. Welcome, new viewer. I love it. Hi, Michelle, Nikki, my wonderful people. Hello. So the idea of acting as if, and I'll kind of share with you how I've been using it lately. I have it like structure, I've created some structure for myself. I have a calendar with the things I have to do for work, but I also have things that do for me, right? Like cleaning and laundry. Working out is another one that I've really had a hard time with being motivated lately. And this idea of acting as if I just get myself all set up to work out, and get there. I've done this like throughout, not just during this time. If I just get myself to the gym, or I just get myself to wherever I have to be, and just act as if I'm going, and then I can make the decision when I get there. 9 times out of 10, and I'll say 9 times out of 10, by the time I get there, I end up doing what I set out to. And it's sort of this idea of just doing my best at the time. Sometimes my workouts are just good enough, just maintain my mental health, because I really use exercise as a way to kind of release and cope and stay sane, But other times with housework, I've let some of it go, but I really act as if I'm excited, or I act as if I'm motivated. But I also use a lot of mindfulness, and I've started to get into meditation since the shutdown, really, and that's been incredibly helpful. Sometimes for me, it's just like doing whatever is in front of me at that time. If I don't feel like cleaning, like right now I have laundry in my dryer, or clean laundry in my dryer, and I just don't feel like doing it. If I just get myself down the stairs, right, act as if I'm excited, by the time I get there, I end up following through with the actions. Right, and this reading for May 17th, and today I believe is the 17th, is Loving Allows Us to Live, and Through Living We Grow in Loving, by Evelyn Mandel. Many days it seems too easy to be centered on ourselves, wondering if others love us rather than loving others. On those days, we may have to act as if we love the persons who live on our pathways. Right? And this isn't talking about like romantic love. This is talking about just humanity, people as a whole, right? And if it's not love, maybe replace it with compassion, or liking, or being kind, practicing tolerance, right? The unexpected gift is that we do begin to feel both love and loved. Living becomes easier, and so does loving. Acting as if is a good way of learning those behaviors that don't feel natural. So right now, motivation may not be a feeling that's natural to you, but acting as if you're motivated, again, these are all like practices, but easier said than done, right? And in time, acting as if is necessary no more. It becomes habit, right? Like working out. It just becomes habit after a certain amount of time. And I don't know the science behind it. There's like X amount of days, but it does becomes like ingrained. It becomes a learned way of coping. Athene, this is really helpful. Thank you. I really needed this so much, struggling. Yeah, I think a lot of people are really struggling. And if you care to, share more, and you don't have to, maybe what you're struggling with, and we could all support you. Or also reach out or message us. Be more than happy to help. We have outreach and engagement specialists, or peers, people with lived experience that are providing virtual support via Zoom and one-on-one setting. Joe, move a muscle, change a thought. Absolutely, I love that. I love that. And really this idea of like, right, when we focus on ourselves and are focused on what's coming to us instead of what we can do for others, like the concept of of service, not kind of service. But that really helps me get out of my unmotivated, funky place. I've been working harder at making an effort to call people throughout the day, and not with any intent, just to call and say, hello, how are you doing? Just to check in on them. And a lot of times that gets me motivated. It gets me out of sitting there thinking, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I want to take a nap, or, whatever it may be. It's been really helpful in just taking some kind of physical action, going to the other room, going for a walk, to change up the energy that I may get stuck in throughout the day. I can behave any way I decide to. I can choose to think about others and love them. I can choose to forget myself today, right? And it's not talking about self-care. Like, self-care is important. Doing the things that fuel your tank is really important. But there are times when we get stuck in those thoughts, stuck in, our situation, feeling sorry for ourselves. But usually when we say that, it has a negative connotation, and it's not. It's just maybe sitting in sadness, sitting in regret, sitting in, dis-ease. So to get out of that, Joe said, move a muscle, change a thought, for sure. It's a great way. It's a great way to get out of that place that may have some darkness associated with it. Chris, struggling here, definitely. I think as time goes on, a lot of people are struggling with the quarantine and isolation. And we keep saying social distancing, right? And I challenge you to think about it as physical distancing, because we're not socially distant. We're not distancing ourselves from connection. We're creating physical space to ensure safety, but the social piece, the connection, is so important and so readily available to us. Holly, I've been living in my head these past few days, and it feels pretty dark. And it does get pretty dark when we're stuck in our minds and in our heads, right? Sometimes there's nothing wrong. Like, I want to always talk about not labeling emotions or placing value. They're good or they're bad. Really missing human connection. It's so important to recognize that, right? Because we do have the ability to take some actions. We can make some changes in terms of human connection. We can call. I know we have all these virtual ways. We could also physically distance ourselves from people, right? I went to a friend's house for a bonfire, and we just sat outside, at a safe distance from one another, and we connected in that way. And that was really helpful. That was last night. And there's something magical about live connection, face-to-face connection. But just because we're physically distanced and isolated, right, doesn't mean we have to avoid human connection. And we can do it in safe ways. I see Paul joined us, Christy, Eileen. Been thinking of you a lot, Christy. Hope you're doing well. Laura and Anna, sorry. Welcome to this feed. We're talking about feeling unmotivated, getting stuck in our thoughts and our heads in some of those darker places that we tend to go, and ways we can cope with that, we can get out of that. A lot of times calling someone is really helpful for me, going for a walk. Those that have pets, taking a moment to pause and just be present with my dogs. For me, I have dogs. Holly, I saw a group of ladies having a picnic in the park yesterday, and it made me so happy for them, but super sad at the same time. I'm really sorry that you were feeling sad. And I think it's important to acknowledge those feelings, right? Because they're valid, they're real, but not give them power, right? Not sit in them for too long because they really have a way of taking over. And it's sort of not getting like super excited and not getting super down. It's being able to, I want to say like neutrality, but stay in an even place, right? Getting some excitement, obviously, but not through the roof, right? Because our emotions can be a roller coaster, especially these days, and finding ways to balance them out some, right? Mindfulness is super huge. Being able to pause and check in with ourselves, kind of some grounding exercises, do a body scan. For those that don't know, there's actually an app called Insight Timer and another one called something sound, Headspace, not sound, Headspace. But you could find guided meditations, guided grounding exercises, even on YouTube. Body scans, those have been helpful to find where the tension lies, whether it's in your chest, in your stomach, your shoulders, your head, and being able to release some of that tension. Athene, my pipples help very much. I love my little pitties. They're all special. They're all like slightly touched, but they just, there's something magical for me in like putting my forehead to their forehead and just pausing and breathing, doing some deep breathing. That's really meditative. Yeah. And that's the thing, Athene, is that we're not alone in this. We're all going through it, together, even though we're physically apart. We're not alone. Like, this is a shared experience, much like addiction recovery. It's a shared experience, so we could really connect around that. So we can use this opportunity, reframe it as this new way to connect with one another. Right? Learning to sit with ourselves is another really hard thing. Holly mentioned used to being in the salon, taking care of people all day and having that connection. I would challenge you to maybe think that through taking care of other people all day, you've neglected yourself and you've neglected the connection with yourself. And maybe even used work as a distraction. I know I've done that plenty of times. Maria, yep, mindfulness, absolutely. Give yourself permission to identify the feeling, sit with it for a short bit, then let it go. Letting it go is key. We have that power to let it go. We have the ability. Like our feelings sometimes feel like they're overpowering, but they don't have power over us, right? It's that whole concept of pain is necessary, suffering is optional. We feel it, we feel pain, but the suffering piece is prolonging that pain, continuing to sit in it. And that's optional. We have power over it. Gratitude lists are another one. Journaling and creating gratitude lists. And you guys know me, I always talk about gratitude as not the material things I have, but almost like the gifts of sobriety, right? I'm not in active addiction, which I'm so incredibly grateful for. I'm incredibly grateful for every sober breath, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm living on borrowed time, and it's just, it's a gift. It really is. Whether it's now when we're out and about socializing, every experience is an opportunity for growth, and I crave new experiences. Paul said, went for a nice walk today, really needed it after visiting with my mom through a door. It was an up and down day, as they all have been lately. Walk was needed for sure. And there's another good thing is like walking meditation, Again, they have guided meditations, but basically walking meditations is really, it's really about feeling every step, feeling every, oh my gosh, I drew a blank on the word. every sense. So smell, sight, tactile, feeling the wind, right? Or feeling the breeze, feeling your feet planted on the ground. Walking in itself is very meditative. Even people watching. I look around, I see people. I was out my front yard and saw neighbors walking. People are walking or riding their bikes. And having that connection from a distance of saying hello. I've never gardened really, and I'm from New York City, right? Even though it's been 7 years, there is a part of New York City that's in me, which is we don't really know our neighbors. We don't really talk to our neighbors. So this is like a new concept. I'm on my front lawn weeding and pulling stuff, and my neighbors are walking by and they're commenting on the landscape or commenting on I have tulips on the side of my house. And there was this little like connection. It was so cool. I just went outside. That's all I did. And all of a sudden, I see this whole other world and I see all these people walking by and I'm able to smile at them and say hello. Jake said I can relate to all the struggles I'm seeing written here. Anyone that is struggling and would like to talk or connect, please reach out to me. Isn't that so beautiful? We're in this together. It's a shared experience. We can get through it together, and we're all here for one another. Brian, I never gardened ever till this year. Oh my gosh, me either. Never, ever, ever have I had a plant that really lived, I don't think. I always forget to water it, and I don't put it in sun and God knows what, but this gardening thing has a lot to it. I have seeds planted in places. I don't know if they'll grow, but it's something, dirt therapy, just playing in the dirt is so therapeutic. And Jake also said, I'm always looking to make new friends and start new relationships with people. I'm struggling with the loss of my grandpa this week. Oh, Jake, I'm so very sorry for your loss. That's really, really hard because the other part of it is we aren't, some of those traditions we have, and when folks leave us, right, we can't partake in them. With everything going on, just made everything just seem so much worse. I feel so depressed for a bit. I felt it, but I didn't stay there long. That's really incredible. And it's really admirable because you just lost your grandpa. I know for me, human connection helps me. We're all in this together, even if it doesn't feel like it sometimes. Absolutely. That's key, right? That statement in and of itself is our connection. We're all in it together, even when it doesn't feel like it. Knowing, just having the knowledge that we have each other, that there are people we could reach out to. Even when you feel alone. Sometimes this internet and phone thing takes some of the pressure away from in-person interactions, like walking into recovery and seeing people. This is almost like a safety net, right? You could connect through Messenger and then maybe it leads to a conversation. It's easier to open that door. Pat wrote, I have found that for me, working out is the only form of medication that I can completely quiet my mind and focus on the present moment, focusing only on each rep at a time. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think that's pretty spot on. My mind wanders a lot, and when I'm working out, if it wanders, that rep isn't, I'm not pulling my best, right? I'm not doing my best. I'm not putting in the effort, and really staying on that rep, focusing on breathing, right? Really helps to recenter, bring us back to that moment, Holly, I grew up in the country. I get the friendly hellos. It blew my mind. It blew my mind. My parents have been living in their house since 94. We came to the U.S. in 92, so 96. And I've spent a significant amount of time there. No idea who lives around. Like, seen some faces, but really have no idea who these people are. And it's sad. When I think about it, it's a really sad way to live. And now, interestingly enough, today, 2.5 years into living here, I've finally seen some neighbors, right? Oh, Holly, you lost your father-in-law last week. Found out my dad found 3 spots on his right lung. It is really heavy stuff. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for anyone that's experiencing loss. I'm really sorry you're going through a very hard time. Um, please know you're not alone. You're not alone. Um, these little, seemingly, right, seemingly little interactions make a world of difference, because Jake and Holly, you could connect around the pain, right, and help one another through it just by having this conversation on this feed. There's so much power in those shared experiences and in those connections. And I really encourage you to lean on your supports. Lean on me, on recovery, on the peers, on one another. You know, you see each other on these feeds quite a bit. Please reach out. We're here for you. As you see, the people on the feed, the people that check out these videos, we're all here for one another. Right? I've said this before. You guys have helped me get through many a days. Just knowing that you're here, knowing that I get to see you every evening, this has really helped me stay connected as well. Yeah, I'm Holly, really grateful for you too. Love seeing your name pop up and can't wait to meet you in person. So please be gentle, connect, make some calls, support one another. Anything that you're going through, anything at all, I promise you there's someone out there that has gone through it too. And maybe that person can help you get through it. You guys can get through it together. And that's a beautiful gift. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Again, I'm so sorry. I've been so irregular with these feeds. It completely missed yesterday, which blew my mind. But please keep each other in your thoughts, right? Support one another. Send healing, loving, kind, compassionate energy out into the universe, to one another, to your neighbors, to everyone around you. And have a great night. I will see you tomorrow. Same time and place. Oof. I'll get better. I'll do better at being more regular. All right, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for the good conversation and feedback. And I'm thinking of you guys tonight. Be well and talk soon. Bye.